All right, today we're here with Luna, and this is her roadmap to success. When I first got here, Luna was pretty excitable. She was jumping up a little bit, which the guardian said wasn't typical for her, but I did actually get to see her in a pretty excited state. So at the best, I saw her, in her worst greeting that she's had in quite some time. I was happy to see that the guardian was already very active with Luna. So Luna is already getting the recommended amount of energy out. So she's getting at least 45 minutes of exercise a day, if not more. So on other days, she sometimes even gets up to 2 or 3 hours if they're going for a hike. So Luna has a lot of exercise, so I definitely recommend keeping up with that. The next thing is she doesn't, although she's a puppy, she doesn't have a lot of behavioral issues other than dealing with separation anxiety. So some of the things that we talked about today was petting her with a purpose. So if she does start getting anxious and she's following her guardian around the house, while we feel like, coaxing her and calming her down through petting is helpful, it's actually reinforcing for her that being anxious like that is positive and she should keep acting like that. So we want to make sure that we refrain from petting Luna if she's acting in an anxious state. The other thing is we want to make sure that we keep petting with a purpose. She does sometimes get into her guardian's personal space, so in that time period we want to make sure that we ask Luna to sit or lay down and then pet her. You can pet her as long as you want, but you want to make sure that you ask her to do something. So that's petting with a purpose. And then if Luna does do something that you don't agree with, you want to use the escalating consequences, and you can check out in the search term on Doggone Problems website the escalating consequences and find videos specifically about that. The other thing that we want to make sure we covered is structured feeding. So I want to encourage the guardian to keep using the structured feeding exercise we covered today, making sure that she stays out of the kitchen. She already had other rules in place, so things that we already agree with: no furniture, and she has to sit before she goes outside for a walk, and what was the other one? She had to wait to eat beforehand, but now we're encouraging her to stay outside of the kitchen fully because it's disrespectful in the dog world for a dog to be within 7 feet of someone else eating or when the food is being prepared itself. So she'll be staying out of the kitchen fully. The exercises we worked on today to help Luna is one, we first wanted to work on building her confidence. A dog that looks up to your face and can make eye contact is a more confident dog. And Luna has shown is a very sensitive dog, so I want to make sure we worked on that. So I want to ask the guardian to keep petting her under her chin like this, because when her nose is pointed up, she feels more confident. The other is to keep working on the focus exercise. So that's when you're putting 2 hands on your knees like this and waiting for her to make eye contact. Over time, you can start asking her to have longer duration to looking at your eyes, and actually like what she's doing right now. So that's excellent. So I was just petting her until she was being good. So that's one thing. I would recommend you doing that. Grab about 6 treats or a handful of treats and doing that 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. It's always great if she can get a nap in between. Naps in between training exercises is ideal. It helps them consolidate memories and learn a little faster. Shake. The other thing I want to make sure that point out is passive training. So when Luna's already doing something that the guardian likes, you can pair that with a word. So she put her paw up, I grabbed it and just said shake. I didn't ask her to do that, that'd be active training, but she was already doing a desirable behavior, so I paired that with a word and then rewarded her by petting her. And the next exercise that you want to make sure to do is we went over a pretty lengthy exercise in the video above, and this was on how to get Luna to be calm in her crate. Again, she made the association that she had to be anxious for her guardian to come back. So we want to start this, have her practice this exercise 5 for 5, just like anything else. So we want to first start with duration, and then increase distance. If at any point Luna looks too animated in her crate when the guardian returns, you've gone a step too far. I also highly encourage the guardian to not have Luna be in the crate when she's practicing these exercises to build up her duration. And I encouraged her to bring her to a doggy daycare and other options like that, so she doesn't also kind of work against these exercises by having to be left in the crate for a couple of hours. And the more the guardian can practice this, I would say, if she can, up to 5 times a day, and slowly work on getting out to her car, getting farther down the hall. And if you have gone too far, you'll know this because Luna will start acting anxious. Her tail will be up higher, she'll be more animated. You really want to ideally see her laying down or sitting when you return. that's the green light to keep moving forward. Again, you want to make sure that when you're going downstairs, you're having Luna stay at the top of the stairs until you call her down, and then waiting at the end of the hallway and have her come to you after you get to the end of the hallway. Anytime she goes ahead of you, she's taking on a leadership position. So to make sure that she's still staying at the top of the stairs, and this is the same when coming back upstairs. When letting Luna out of the crate, make sure you open the door to give her a release word, and then having her not go back down the hallway or up the stairs in front of you. Always keep her behind you, so she's looking to you for leadership, and you're working on her self-control. That's the main component, is self-control and her ability to start to regulate that. The last thing that we did was the structured feeding that we just discussed, and making sure that she is always eating all of her food within about 3 minutes. If she doesn't eat everything, make sure that you put the food back in the bag, and then you can put her bowl back down and leave it empty until her next opportunity to eat at the next meal. And that is Luna's roadmap to success. And remember that everything you do trains your dog, just sometimes you mean it.